Hey everyone, today we are going to talk about one of the most important international efforts to protect our ocean, the International Convention of Prevention of Pollution from Ships, commonly known as MARPOL 7378. MARPOL is the main international treaty that aims to prevent pollution of the marine environment from ships, whether it causes accident or during normal operations. It was originally adopted in 1973 by International Maritime Organization or IMO, but due to wave of tankers accidents in the mid 1970s, a protocol has adopted in 1978, making the full version of we now called MARPOL 7378. This convention covers the pollution from various sources, such as oil, chemicals, harmful substances, package, form, sewage, and garbage. The 1978 protocol was adopted at a special conference on tanker safety and pollution prevention, which also includes the designs and operational safety measures into other maritime laws, like the SOLAS Convention. MARPOL is a living document. It has been updated over the years with amendments, and today includes the 6 technical annexes, each targeting a specific type of pollution. What really interesting is the concept of special areas. These are environmental sensitive zone where pollution controls are even stricter. Example includes the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, and the Baltic Sea. To summarize, MARPOL 7378 is not just a legal agreement. It's a global commitment to protecting maritime ecosystems from the impact of international shipping. Talk about Annex 1 of MARPOL, which target the oil pollution from ships. What it is about. It aims to prevent the oil pollution from daily operations and accidents. It first took effect in 1983 and has revised in 2007. A major change came in 1992 when it became mandatory for new oil tanker to have a double hulls. This helped to prevent the spills of if the hull is breached. There was also a phased-in plan for older tankers, which has later revised on 2001 and 2003 to speed things up after a big oil spill. Annex 1 of MARPOL, effective since 1983, revised in 2007, prevents oil pollution from ships. 1992, double hull became mandatory for new tankers. Older tankers had to phase in double hull, revised in 2001 and 2003. This was greatly reduced the risk and impact of oil spill at sea. So overall, it's helped make the ocean cleaner by making ships safer. Let's talk about Annex 2 of MARPOL Convention, which entered into force on October 2, 1983 and has revised in 2007. What it is about. Annex 2 focus on preventing pollution from noxious liquid substances carried in bulk, like chemicals, industrial liquids. Yes, around 250 substances are listed in each one of the categories based on how harmful it is, and different discharge rules apply depending on the categories. How are discharges handled under this annex? Discharges are not allowed directly into the sea unless strict conditions are met. Residues can be discharged to approved port receptions facilities and only when certain concentration are reached. And very importantly, to discharge is allowed within 12 nautical miles of the land, no matter what right. Annex 2 plays a key role in protecting maritime ecosystem from chemical pollution. Next up, we're discussing Annex 3 of MARPOL, which came into force on 1 July 1992. What does this Annex deals with? Annex 3 is about preventing pollution from harmful substances in package form like containers or drums transported on ships. These substances are identified in the IMDG code or meet the criteria in Annex 3 Appendix. They're considered maritime pollutant. What does the Annex require? It sets rules for packaging, marking, labeling, and documentation, stowage, and handling to reduce the risk of leaks or accident at sea. It also includes the rules on quality, quantity, limits, and expectation, and notification requirements if anything goes wrong. Exactly. Annex 3 ensures that even package hazardous goods are handled safely to protect the maritime environment. Let's move on to Annex 4 of MARPOL, which entered into the force on 27 of September 2003. What does it covers? Annex 4 is all about preventing the sewage pollution from ships. It sets the rules on when and how ships can discharge sewage into the sea. Generally, sewage discharge is prohibited unless the ship uses the approved sewage treatment plant. Discharge treatment sewage more than 3 nautical miles from land. If the sewage is not treated, it also be discharged at least 12 nautical miles from the land. Are there any recent updates? Yes, there are recent updates. In 2011, the IMO designated the Baltic Sea as the special area under the Annex 4. Stricter sewage discharge rules now apply to passenger ships in the area since 1 of January 2013. Annex 4 is the key in reducing the health and environmental risk from sewage pollution at sea. Now let's discuss the Annex 5 of MARPOL, which came into force on 31 of December in 1988. What is it mean focus? Annex 5 deals with garbage pollution from ships. It define different type of garbage and set rules on how far from land they can be disposed of. The most important rule is the complete ban of dumping plastic into the sea. That's major step in protecting maritime life. Were there any major updates? Yes, there are major updates in 2011. The IMO adopted a big change that took effect on 2013. The revised annex prohibited the discharging of all garbage into the sea. Expect this certain controlled situation. It's about reducing the ocean waste and keeping our sea cleaner. Now let's discuss Annex 6 of MARPOL, which came into force on May 19, 2005. What does it focus on? Annex 6 is all about preventing air pollution from ships. It sets the limit of sulfur oxide or SOx and nitrogen oxide emission from ship exhaust. It also bans the release of NOx depleting substances like CFS and halogens, which can harm the ozone layer. What are the specific zones where there is stricter rule apply? Emission control areas ECA have stricter limits on reduce air pollutions in sensitive region. And in 2011, the IMO added the mandatory energy efficiency measure to Annex 6. This helped cuts down the greenhouse gases emissions, and they came into force on 1 of January 2013. Annex 6 tackles both air pollution and climate change impact from the shipping. That's all.